One of the greatest German aircraft of the Second World War was the Focke Wulf FW190. The single-seat, single-engine fighter aircraft was popular amongst the pilots who flew it, and it had more firepower than the Messerschmitt Bf-109. Some argue that the German aircraft was better than even the iconic Spitfire and the later variants of it, but there are very few that survive inside of museums and private collections today. There are, it's believed, 28 that have been found, but in 2019 a Focke Wulf was recovered from a river in northwest Russia, but it was very badly beaten and battered. The Focke Wulf found inside the river was a 1944 variant and example. Despite looking very beaten up, there are hopes that restorers can do something with it, and the fuselage is recognisable as a Focke Wulf. Specifically, the River Wulf was an FW190 F8 variant, and it was discovered in the river complete with injectors on the engine compressor of the BMW radial engine. It was one of 16 of the fighter-bomber aircraft which was based near to Alakuti in Finland. At this time, the aircraft was involved in the German-Finnish defence of Finland against the Soviet Red Army, who were advancing and pushing forward. They were also pitted against the Soviet Air Force, and they saw combat in what was known as a continuation war. The belief about this specific aircraft is that it was Luftwaffe pilot Alfred Krupa who was flying the aircraft close to the Finnish border, and he was at some point then attacked and intercepted by Soviet pilots who were flying Lend-Lease British Hawker Hurricanes given to them from the Allied nations. In this dogfight, Krupa's Focke Wulf was struck by a significant amount of fire from the Hurricane's cannons and machine guns, and with the aircraft rendered almost knocked out, the pilot was forced to perform an emergency bailout. However, it's believed that the aircraft then plunged in the Vukosi River, where it then sank, and the pilot died in the crash. The Focke Wulf was a wreck when it hit the river, and it sank to the river's floor for 75 years, and was left undisturbed. On the bottom of the river it collected different vegetation that grew on it, and in 2019 the fuselage, cockpit and wings were discovered. It was then planned to lift the Focke Wulf from the depths, and this did take place, and it was hoped that one day the aircraft would undergo a full restoration. However, the state of the wreck has caused problems with this. For restorers it would be a very tricky project, but more difficult wrecks have been worked on in the past in preparation for at least static display. Some of the decals and the Balkenkreuz of the fuselage has come off, as has the swastika which would have been found on the tail. The propeller was also missing, presumably damaged upon impact, but two of the Balkenkreuz patterns are found on the wings, and the paint scheme on the tail can still be seen. The Focke Wulf in the river was a remarkable find, and there are many other aircraft that still remain either lost to time or awaiting someone to find them. Some other wrecks are in better condition, being preserved by low oxygen conditions of the boggy terrain of the former Soviet Union, but the Focke Wulf of the river today awaits a buyer to restore it to some form of condition, and hopefully it can be one day displayed, but it was last up for sale for £600,000. Thanks for watching. To support our channel, please make sure to subscribe, and once again, thank you so much for watching.